Good morning, my children, and welcome to your English class, the class of the teacher Jacob. Today, we're going to continue with our review of geometric shapes. Remember, yesterday we started with some of the most basic, including the three types of lines. The first line, remember, when it's standing, it's called vertical line. When it's sleepy, we call it horizontal line. And when it's in a lazy mode, de modo flojo, we call it inclined line. What about the curves? Again, we had three examples. When the curve looks like an N, when the curve looks like a U, those types are also called semicircles because it's only one half. Solo es una mitad del círculo. Por eso we are going to associate it with a curve. And the third example was when the curve looks like mountains. Mountains in Spanish means montañas. And if you have seen a mountain, looks like a curve. We started up and we go down. We start up and we go down. We start up and we go down. Continue with the previous geometric shapes. We had the square and the rectangle. Like the lines, the rectangle, we can put it in two positions, in horizontal form or vertical form. Now, the square, doesn't matter how we put it, it's always the same form, okay? Doesn't change. Let's continue with the new geometric shapes of today. We are going to start with the triangle. Now, as you can see here, our triangles are in color purple. Now, what objects have the shape and form of a triangle? For example, a slice of pizza. In Spanish, una rebanada de pizza looks like a triangle. Another object, okay, the cone of an ice cream, but we're going to talk about that shape in a few moments. Talking about the triangle, let's see another example. Okay, the skirt of a girl. In Spanish, skirt, we already talked about it in the past, it's una falda. The skirt of the girls look like a triangle. Now, let's continue with the cone. Like you mentioned, my children, the cone and the triangle have very similar shapes. It's a very similar shape to the triangle. The difference here is that it's in a three-dimensional form. Está de forma tridimensional. Es un cuerpo tridimensional. Quiere decir que contiene una tercera capa. In the case of the triangle, it's only two-dimensional. Solamente tiene dos dimensiones. We cannot pick it up. If we have a triangle in our hands, si tuviéramos un triángulo, solamente daría una cara. When we are talking about the cone, we are talking about three-dimensional forms. Estamos hablando de formas tridimensionales. It means that we can turn it around, lo podemos voltear y seguimos viendo la misma forma del cono. Le damos vuelta y seguimos viendo la misma forma de un cono. That is three-dimensionality. Eso es tridimensionalidad. Talking about objects. Excellent, very good. So, talking about, once again, about the cone of an ice cream is the most common. Whenever you are eating an ice cream, you put it in a cone so you can grab it. Okay? Very good. Now, let's continue with the rhombus. Now, objects that have the shape and form of rhombuses, the most common are two. The first one is the kite. Now, if you remember correctly, the kite is a toy that we expose on the air so it can levitate. The kite, remember in Spanish we know it as cometa. Okay, very good. And finally, we have the pyramids. The pyramid, just as the cone, como el cono, has three-dimensional characteristic, tiene una función tridimensional. It means we have our pyramid, and if we want to check it from another perspective, si la queremos ver de otro ángulo, sigue teniendo la forma de pirámide, no cambia. Okay, we can move it around and it has the same shape and form of a pyramid. So the pyramid and the cone are three-dimensional shapes. Very good. So for this, my children, please repeat after me. Triangle. One more time, a little bit louder with energy. Triangle. Cone. Cone. Rhombus. Rhombus. Pyramid. Pyramid. Very good. Now, these geometric shapes are part of your teddy book and are part of today's activities. They are located in this page. Once again, we have our triangle, we have a rhombus, we have a cone, and we have our pyramid, okay? So once again, what you have to do, you have to trace with your pencil all of the geometric shapes, and after that, you can paint them with your favorite colors, okay? Very good. Very good. I'm very happy that you pay attention and you are memorizing all of the concepts and all of the vocabulary that we have been practicing. Tomorrow we're going to continue with more geometric shapes. But until that day, that's it for today, my children. Take care. Don't forget that the teacher Jacob loves you very much. Goodbye.